Hi, this is Trevor the gardener, and today I'm out in the garden, but I'm not actually feeling like I really want to do much gardening today. The reason I made this video is because a friend of mine had a vision that, see, my belief is that the garden can heal you, is that the garden can restore your natural innate capacity, and so what I've noticed is that when I'm doing gardening tasks, there's a lot of mindful aspect that comes into it. My mind tends to settle a lot, and that's really, really cool. If I can get out of the franticness of it, or the expectation of trying to, grow something perfectly, or if I can just sort of accept that some things aren't going to work and some things are going to work. But anyway, long story short, my friend had this vision that I would just come out and make a video of me being with the garden, and I've been thinking about that for the last couple of days. 2 years ago, I had a very, very bad back injury, and I took a lot of medication, and what that did, it flooded my body with inflammation. All over my body was inflammation. There was a lot of pain, and the medication wasn't any good for me, and it really, really affected me, and I was in a really bad way, and I didn't think I was going to pull through. I heard about this thing called grounding, and skeptically thought, well, okay, let's give it a go. So what I did was I started coming out into my garden, and I started walking bare feet on the garden, and then what I wanted to do was just listen to what my body said. So here I am out in the garden, and I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to do it for a couple of reasons. One is because in this lockdown, I can easily come out into the garden and just be really stressed. Like, believe me, that is possible. I am like really stressed at the moment. You can't believe like how many things are going on in my head, and so like I come out and I can do gardening, or I can come out and I can just be still. So I'm going to choose to be still today, and it's funny because a lot of people say like to achieve stillness, to reach that level of peace, you need years and years and years of training and all this sort of stuff. But I don't actually think that's true. I think that it happens really quietly and naturally. Even now, as I'm got my feet on the floor, I can feel, look at my toes, look at my niece painted my toes a couple of weeks ago, so yeah, this is the first outing from my toes. But look, they love it. They absolutely love it. It's like they're trying to get a little bit deeper into the ground. They're trying to settle themselves. They're trying to, just really enjoy that texture of the grass. And what I tend to do is just find a patch that resonates. Okay, so I'm just going to find a patch that resonates with my feet. Where I feel comfortable. I'm going to pick my shoes up, pick my legs up here. Okay, and then I'm just going to, almost like a Tai Chi stance, I'm just going to sit into it a little bit. But the idea is, what I want to do is I want to point my feet in and just elongate my back, just stretch my back. Now what I believe happens is that there's like an electrical system in my body, okay? And it starts off in my head, and it starts off with like, what's going on in my head? And so what I do when I just sit quietly or stand quietly on the grass with my bare feet, some of that energy just starts to drain into the earth. It just naturally gets decharged. And so I really recommend this, that if you get a bit of peaceful time, it only needs 5 minutes a day. And what this will do is it will just start to allow some of any inflammation and stress and tension just to drain out. So here's the confession. When I have my RHS hat on, when I'm a gardener, I have to wear steel cap boots, right, and PPE equipment, and I have to take care of myself, take care of my feet and stuff. But that isn't how I started gardening. I actually started gardening in my bare feet. I remember now, I didn't have gloves and I didn't have shoes, and I would just always be in contact. I mean, I would ruin my nails with stones, like digging in the ground and then hit a stone. But there's something that, it made me a little bit more robust. It made me a little bit more feeling my environment. See, nature I'm going to borrow this phrase off a guy called Wim Hof, who I've been reading about, who's amazing, real inspiration to me. If you look at his stuff, I mean, I'm sure I'm going to talk about it more in the future. But Wim Hof says that nature is my master. I really love that. I really love that nature is my master. And it's just like, yeah, okay, you know, when I need to be taught, nature is there available to teach me. And it's not only that nature is my master, I haven't got some special talent or gift or ability. Nature is your master as well. So just allow it to teach you. Allow it, like, really intuitively, just listen to what nature is trying to tell you, because it's always trying to tell you something. It's always trying to restore and reset and recharge. And so what I would implore you to do, like, but not sue me if anything happens, is to garden a little bit in bare feet, to actually really connect with the environment around you. You know, it's a totally different experience, because even these stones, look at these stones, right? Okay, you see these stones? As soon as I step onto the stone, yeah, something really magical happens. My feet adjust to the shape of the stones. Isn't that incredible? Like, you'd have thought it'd be quite painful, but it's not. It's okay. It's okay. So I can just like come down, and now I'm connected through the ground, and I can do a little bit of gardening. You know, and now I'm really connected to the ground. I haven't got my gloves on. So yeah, give it a go. Give it a go. You know, try and just be careful. Just be careful. It allows you to slow down. I think when you're doing barefoot gardening, you have to slow down. You have to just take things a little bit easier. Sometimes when I've got my steel DMs on, I'm just like steaming ahead and just doing gardening, you know, like, and I don't really care about what's going on. But yeah, this is a different type of gardening. So when you come out into the garden, and you know, before you start to make it just a list of things to do in the garden, a list of chores, a list of things that you need to achieve in the garden, because we've got plenty of that elsewhere, maybe just allow the garden to teach you something about slowing down and about connecting to your space. This space, you know, this is what this is about. This is a space that we connect into. We are nature. We are nature, and nature is our master. And I love that. I love that. Nature is my master. I love it. I love it. It just feels right. It just feels right. So yeah, just to recap, grounding is really simple. It's just barefoot on the ground, and stay there for about 5 minutes. You can do a few little exercises. I'll show you like a couple of little exercises. Yeah, so here I'm doing a little bit too much, really. I mean, if you literally just stand on the grass, then you're going to be grounding anyway. But I think it's nice to get a sense of how energy moves through your body, and then just push it, give it a little push. It seems to amplify the effects, and but the most important thing is just keep your feet steady on the ground, keep that connection into the ground. But you don't really have to do much, you don't have to breathe deeply or anything like that. I might go into that, you know, how can you amplify it later, but for now, just being in the garden barefoot is going to give you so much health benefit. It's going to reduce your stress, and it's just put you in a really great state of mind for enjoying your garden and enjoying your gardening. So I've been out here barefoot now for about 10 minutes, and as you can tell really from my voice that my mind has slowed down. I haven't really done much. I've done a little bit of stretching, a tiny little bit of stretching, but just the mere fact of being in the garden with your bare feet, it's just so amazing. It's such a brilliant experience. It really does remind you of who you really are and what our natural state is. Just bringing us back to that equilibrium, bringing us back to awareness of what's going on. I was just looking at my vegetable patch, and I just started talking to my vegetable patch. I started saying, hey, you know what, if you I'm looking after myself, and I look after you as well. If you want to grow here, then I look after you. And it didn't feel silly or ridiculous. It felt like I went into a different dimension of love, maybe. Love for the plants, love for the garden, love for myself. And I just communicated what was on my mind. And on my mind it just felt like to say, hey, we planted this vegetable garden, and it looks like a tornado's ripped through it. Everything's like really straggly and weak. And I made the joke the other day that perhaps they've got COVID-19. This felt really bad. But yeah, there's some sort of sickness in my garden, and what can I do? The only thing I can do is talk to my garden and try and show some of my heart and my love towards my garden. And I really encourage you to do that with your garden as well. And move around when you're barefoot in the garden. Move around to different corners, different areas. Really experience it. Get down on the floor. I do tree bathing. I love doing tree bathing, but you can do micro tree bathing within your garden. I really love that idea of the same idea of opening up your awareness and seeing with fresh eyes what's in your garden. That's the wonderful thing. Then you come in every day and you have a different experience. But you also have a resonance about the things that you really love in your garden. Still got bare feet. I'm thinking about calling my YouTube channel Welcome to the Barefoot Garden. Hi, today we're in my sister's back garden, and today we're in my sister's back garden. This is a vegetable patch that we just recently grown. Hi, I'm the Barefoot Gardener. My name's Trevor, and welcome to my channel. I really hope you're going to enjoy connecting with your garden and seeing your garden in a new way, in a fresh way, in an innocent way, in a way that reveals to you what an incredible universe your garden contains for you. It's my passion to share with people just how healing a garden can be. Just being in the garden, literally barefoot, just connecting with the grass, connecting, even if you haven't got grass, just being on the concrete, that's fine. You're still being nurtured by Mother Nature through the earth. And so it's my absolute pleasure to share with you some techniques and some gardening, and to just help you, to train you to be more in the moment in your garden, and to get the full health benefit of your garden, as well as the produce from your garden and the beauty from your garden. So I look forward to sharing my videos with you very soon. Hi, I'm Trevor, the Barefoot Gardener. And why am I barefoot in my garden? So I can get the health benefit in my garden, so I can get the grounding effect in my garden, and so that I can be with my garden. And that's what we're going to teach you, how to be with your garden, how to be productive in your garden, and how to enjoy your garden. It reminds me, actually, I used to see my dad when he was gardening. He'd spend hours and hours in gardening, and then he would have a gardener, and he would come in and he would work all day Saturday, and he would make this beautiful garden. And then I said to him one day, Dad, why don't you just sit in the garden? Why don't you just be in the garden? Why do you always have to do things in the garden? And I had this experience when I became sick, that I was in my garden and I was sitting on the floor, and I just started doing little things around me. I couldn't really move. My mobility was pretty bad, so I just started, tucking away with a little piece of grass or digging a little hole and looking at a flower. And I started looking at the flowers and going, oh, I wonder how that works, and I wonder what this bit does. And I got curious about my garden, just the really basics of it. And then I started to look into garden design, and I started to read some books on RHS. But well before that, I was in the garden. I was learning from the garden. The garden speaks to you. The garden teaches you stuff that you can't really learn from a book, because it's about a feeling. It's very difficult to get that feeling from a book. But your garden will teach you it, and it will guide you, and it will heal you, and it will nurture you. And then it's up to you to have these amazing creative ideas that the garden can help bring to life. And I think that's just fantastic. And that's why I love gardening. And I particularly love gardening when I've got no shoes on, when I am barefoot. So, enjoy this channel. These are plum blossoms. Last year this tree was really struggling. It had a couple of plums, but it wasn't really doing that well. But this year I'm really confident. I've given it a nice prune. The thing about pruning is you really just want to free up the area in the middle, so that light can get into the middle of the tree. And you want to be careful that when because imagine that all of these flowers are just going to turn into fruit, all the white ones and the buds, so it's going to get quite congested up there. So if there's any on the underside, you want to take those off, because they're not going to get the light. They're going to be blocked out by the other bits of fruit. So I'm pretty happy the way that this tree's gone, the way that it's pruned. I really like it, and I really like these blossoms, and I hope you like them too. They're absolutely gorgeous.
Bye.